There is some bad news for the West, for NATO, for the European Union, for Ukraine, for the United States, when it comes to what's going on right now with Russia in Eastern Europe, with this war in Ukraine. The United States has sent Kamala Harris to go and sort out the situation in Eastern Europe.
I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank and our NATO allies, and what is at stake at this very moment.
She couldn't even get the flank right. They sent her to Poland, which is very much not on the northern part of NATO. That is on the eastern part of NATO. She didn't know where she was. This is a similarity that Kamala has with Joe Biden. They don't know where they are. They don't know which end is up. The speech only got worse from there. Kamala Harris attempted to rally the troops. You know, you once had Ronald Reagan show up and say, he shows up to the Brandenburg Gate, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. You once had Winston Churchill speaking in America saying, from Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended upon Europe. And then from Kamala, you get this.
We all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but just limited to what we have seen.
I defy anyone to explain to me what that meant. I defy anyone to try to translate that gibberish into English. You can't. And what I mean this, so I'm not really just joking about how inept Kamala Harris is. I mean this sincerely. This is really bad news for Ukraine because it means that Joe Biden thinks that Ukraine has already lost. Joe Biden thinks that Ukraine already belongs to Russia because Kamala Harris is Joe Biden's point person on failure. Joe Biden sends Kamala Harris to every lost cause, to the southern border. Okay, Kamala's going to be our point person on the southern border now. That's going to work out great, right? This is an issue that's impossible. Nothing's going to happen with it. And so here goes Kamala. How's that come along? Has she fixed that? I don't think so. He's sending her now. Every issue that he doesn't want to deal with because he knows it's a lost cause, that's where he sends Kamala. So this is unfortunate because as of now, the Russian invasion of Ukraine has gone much slower than a lot of people predicted that it would. The world has rallied in a much more forceful way against Russia, I think, than Putin thought would happen. There actually is a chance for at least a negotiated peace to maintain some semblance of Ukrainian sovereignty here. But you're not going to get that with just abject weakness from Joe Biden. And you're not going to get that with Kamala Harris showing up in Warsaw to say, we know what we saw and we didn't see. And what we know we can do, we can do. If we believe that we know that we can imagine, then we can do it here on the northern side of NATO in Poland. You're definitely not going to get it there. Putin already knows that the geopolitical strategy of the Biden administration is confused, to say the least. But if he now knows that they don't even know where Poland is, you're in a really weak situation. You need strength, not weakness. I'm so glad you liked that clip. Now, please ring that bell, subscribe, get the notifications, and more importantly, even than that, head on over to Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to The Michael Knowles Show. Leave a 5-star review if you wouldn't mind. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.